Weird dog behaviors that can drive you crazy. Even though our dogs can sometimes be the weirdest animals we know, we still love them unconditionally. And even if they can sometimes be quite strange and do things we don't understand, we wouldn't trade them for anything. Sometimes their behavior is just hard to explain. So today, we're gonna tell you why does your dog do that. 10 weird behaviors. Explained. Number 1. Licking their own anus. If you've ever come home and found your dog has been licking their own anus so much that they've gone bald, don't worry. This isn't necessarily something to be concerned about. In most cases, it's perfectly normal behavior. Just like humans, sometimes dogs experience some anal discomfort due to poor diet or an infection. But it can also just be a way of keeping themselves clean. It's not pleasant for us to watch, but there's no harm in this behavior. However, if you notice your dog is experiencing hair loss, bleeding, or pain when they go to defecate, then it's best to make a vet appointment. Number 2. Eating poop. You might have noticed your dog looking very interested whenever you go to use the toilet. Well, dogs are scavengers by nature. Eating poop isn't necessarily disgusting to them, and they will often try to steal your food, which includes your poops. They can get a small amount of nutrition from digesting your poops, but most of the time, they're just trying to get a taste of what you're eating. If you find this behavior disgusting, then start using a doggy waste bin with a pedal that automatically closes the lid after you flush. You can also try giving your dog a treat right after you finish using the toilet, so they associate that area with good things rather than something they want to eat. Number 3. Drinking from the toilet. If you've caught your dog taking a drink from the toilet, don't worry, it's perfectly normal behavior. Even though your dog's bowl may be full of fresh water, they may prefer drinking from the toilet for one reason or another. Dogs are just more attracted to running water. It's similar to how people are more likely to drink from a fountain instead of a still bottle. Your dog doesn't necessarily think your drinking water is gross, and they may actually be getting bored of drinking from their bowl. If this happens, make sure to change their water more frequently and ensure their bowl is always full. Otherwise, they may look elsewhere to quench their thirst. Number 4. Crying when their human leaves. Has your dog ever cried when you left them alone? One of the saddest things is seeing your furry friend feeling sad and lonely because you have to leave them behind. But did you know that dogs cry when they're left alone for the same reasons kids cry when they're dropped off at daycare? They're feeling anxious and they want comfort. Dogs are social animals who live in packs, and they feel upset when they're separated from their pack leader. There are ways to help your dog cope with separation anxiety, so talk to your vet and see what options are available. Number 5. Rolling around in their own pee. Dogs sometimes like to roll around in their own urine, but there's a few reasons for this behavior. Sometimes they do it to mark their territory, and other times they're simply marking themselves as unapproachable when they are in heat. But perhaps the strangest reason is that they like the feeling of being wet. Many dogs enjoy being petted when they're wet, and so rolling around in their own pee is their way of simulating that sensation. Another theory is that it feels pleasurable to them, as they have no sweat glands. The only way for them to cool down is by getting wet. So rolling around in their own urine can be a very satisfying experience. Number 6. Barking at nothing. It can be concerning when you hear your dog barking at something you can't see, but in many cases, it's perfectly normal. Most of the time, dogs hear things we're unable to detect, such as noises at high or low frequencies. Dogs can also react to scents they smell with their superpowered nose, sights they see with their eyes, and even feelings they sense with their body. You might think your dog is crazy, but they could be reacting to something you're not aware of. So next time you hear your dog barking at nothing, take a moment to listen closely and investigate the situation. Maybe you'll discover something interesting. Number 7. Eating grass. You may have seen your dog munching on grass in your backyard. This behavior is completely normal and is usually a sign that they're missing nutrients in their diet. In most cases, eating grass is your dog's way of getting fiber, which is an important part of their diet. But there are other reasons dogs eat grass. Some dogs use it as a natural laxative, and others eat it to settle their stomach when they feel nauseous. Eating grass is generally safe for your dog, but if you notice they're doing it excessively, they may be ill and need a trip to the vet. Also, ensure that your dog's food is appropriate for them. Some foods are toxic to dogs and could make them sick. So, do your research to make sure your furry friend is eating a balanced diet. Number 8. Taking a few bites out of their food before leaving it. Sometimes your dog may refuse to eat all of their food, and this behavior is called food refusal. It can be caused by a number of different factors, such as stress or a change in their routine. But perhaps the most common reason is that your dog wants something else. They may be expecting a different type of food or a different mealtime. Dogs can become quite obsessive over their food, and so it's important to stick to a strict feeding routine. If you find your dog is refusing to eat, try speaking to your vet to see if there's an underlying problem causing this behavior. Number 9. Giving the doggy door a little love tap. When your dog goes through the doggy door, they will sometimes tap it with their backside. This is called a sign of contentment and satisfaction. It's similar to how cats will rub against things they like. By tapping the doggy door, your dog is saying this is their favorite entryway. They also do it to alert other dogs that this is their territory and to inform you that they have come back inside. It's just a quirky habit some dogs develop, and it's nothing to be concerned about. However, if your dog suddenly stops using the doggy door, it may be scared and needs some extra reassurance. 10. Pulling on the leash while walking. When you take your dog for a walk, they sometimes like to pull on the leash. This is usually because they want to sniff something, and it's in their nature to be curious about the world around them. If you let your dog pull on the lead, they'll never stop. And this can cause problems further into their life. To avoid this, start training your dog from puppyhood. Teach them that pulling on the leash is not acceptable. Give them treats when they walk beside you calmly and reward good behavior. It can be difficult to train your dog, but it will pay off in the long run. Otherwise, you could end up with a big, strong dog that can't be controlled. Which of these behaviors did you find the most interesting? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave us a like. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.